Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Sidelines. My name's Cullen Mack. I'd like to start off this episode by saying I'm a little under the weather, so if my voice gives out at all this episode, you know why. I'm here with my friend Daniel DiMaggio. Daniel, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm fully healthy and ready to go. I haven't been pounding the ginger and tea like you have lately.
Sorry for not posting a video last week. We had recorded an episode, but our recording had gotten messed up, and obviously Daniel DiMaggio, the star of From the Sidelines, his footage wasn't good, and we didn't think it would be good enough to post. So we have a little bit of a different looking From the Sidelines this week, and wanted to try something new, and we hope you guys like it.
We want the best outcome for you guys at home.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get right into it. The WNBA Draft happened this past week. We all know who the number one pick was. College sensation, best player in college basketball, Caitlin Clark, goes to the Indiana Fever. I mean, this was a move we all saw coming and, very exciting. Lots of news that came out about Caitlin this week. Not only did she sign her contract, she also signed her endorsement deal with Nike. First, a rumor came out saying it was worth $10 million, and then another rumor came out saying that it was worth $20 million. So anywhere in between that range, I think, is a really good deal for Caitlin. So, congrats to her for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was any surprise, her going number one. I don't think it was any surprise that Cameron Brink went too. She's a beast. She's good. She's tall. And I think she's good for the bright lights of LA.
So number 3, you got Camila Cardoza, goes to the Chicago Sky. And then at number 7, kind of an interesting pick. I don't know if anyone saw this one coming. You have Angel Reese from LSU also going to the Chicago Sky. So they're pairing up the two bigs from college, and Camila Cardoza, I think, said it best. She said no one is going to out-rebound us this year.
Here's the nickname for Cardozo and Reese, the Chicago Skyscrapers.
Hey, I really like that. That's a good one. Chicago Skyscrapers. Well, also, another thing that happened this week, really big NBA news, the NBA play-in. You guys saw our picks for the NBA play-in. We got a couple of them right. We got a couple of them wrong. Some of them really came down to the wire, especially that first round of games. You have the Lakers taking down the Pelicans to play the Nuggets in the playoffs. Zion Williamson gets hurt after having an amazing game. He was playing lights out. It's really unfortunate that he hurt his hamstring.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance without Zion, in my opinion. Kings beat the Warriors. Not surprising, but it is always sad to see a dynasty come to an end. Not for me. I guess I'm the only one who's not unhappy that this reign is finally coming to the end. I don't know about you, Cullen, but I'm not sad.
I mean, that's the big question that we're all wondering, right? Is this finally the end of the Warriors' big three? Klay Thompson putting up a big old goose egg across the board. I mean, he was just out there getting his cardio up, staying in shape. Who knows what's going to happen with Klay? There's some rumors that maybe he retires, which I don't think is likely. I know he really wants to stay with the Warriors, but I think it would be really cool if he were to go somewhere else, maybe have a year or two before he retires to, really prove to everyone and probably really prove to himself that he's still that guy. 76ers got a very close win over the Miami Heat. Even though Jimmy Butler got hurt, he suffered a really bad MCL injury. He had gotten an outlet pass from Kevin Love on the other side of the court. He pump faked, went up, and Kelly Oubre landed on his leg. He hurt his MCL really bad, but he still finished the game. Props to Jimmy Butler. I mean, like we said, this guy is like on another level. Possibly, they haven't really said exactly what it is, but if he has a torn MCL, for him to play the rest of this game, I mean, this guy is made of steel.
Get better, my friend. We also, finally, in the final play-in game, the final beginning play-in game, we saw the Hawks lose to the Bulls. Cullen's very own Atlanta Hawks. Speaking of coming to an end, we were talking about the Warriors. At least they have some hardware. DeJounte Murray and Trey Young have nothing but Eastern Conference exits, my friend. Which is still impressive, but I was just like, they've been getting knocked out consecutively the past couple of years and not making a deep run. So if I were an Atlanta Hawks fan, which Colin McCarthy is, I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah, it's a rough time to be a Hawks fan. It definitely seems like the writing on the wall is that Trey Young most likely is out of Atlanta next year. I'm not sure where he's going to end up. all signs point to the Lakers most likely. Everyone kind of wants him to go there, or they want him to go to the Spurs to play with Wemby. But it's been a nice run for the Hawks, and best of luck to Trey Young and wherever he may go.
We saw the Bulls lose to the Heat without Butler tonight, and also the Kings lose to the Pelicans without Zion, right? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it's really impressive. I don't know if these other teams just, didn't get psyched up to play these guys that were missing their star players, or what, if maybe it was a mentality thing, but, they were both really good games. Kind of surprised that the Bulls got blown out like they did, though, I will say that. Well, getting into the actual NBA playoffs, the things that we are the most excited for, let's talk about some of those middle matchups. Number 4 Clippers taking on the number 5 Mavs. What are your thoughts on this as a Clippers fan? For me, I think this is Clippers all the way. Kawhi Leonard has to be guarding Luka Doncic, though, if they want to win this series.
Kawhi Leonard has to be on the court first.
He did get an injection in his knee. There was a report that he had some fluid in his knee. They were thinking about draining it. They gave him a shot, probably like a cortisone shot, so that he could probably numb that knee up and play through that.
Death, taxes, and Kawhi getting injured at the playoffs. 3 things you can guarantee in life. Every day I'm just like, is Kawhi getting closer to playing or farther away from playing? Because I know if he's not out there on the court, or if he's lingering with an injury and he can only be in for a couple games, we're done. We're done. It starts with him and it ends with him, my friend. Luka Doncic will light us up if we don't have a two-way perimeter defender like Kawhi Leonard on him at all times. I have the Clippers winning this series in 6 if Kawhi Leonard's on the court.
All right, well, staying in the West, we have the number 3 T-Wolves taking on the number 6 Phoenix Suns. I'm repping the Suns jersey right now. I got the Steve Nash on. But I will say, I think this is going to be a really interesting series. You have the 2 Twin Towers over in the T-Wolves, and you have Ant, who's really come into his own and taken over this team. And a Phoenix Suns team who's not really great on defense, but they are so good at scoring outside. And this T-Wolves defense, their core is on the interior. So if you're facing a team that's so good at scoring exterior, is this going to balance out? I ultimately think the T-Wolves are going to win, and I think this one goes 7. I will be honest.
To put things simply, the T-Wolves defense is going to beat the Suns offense.
We have the number 2 seed Nuggets taking on the number 7 seed Lakers. This is a tough matchup, another team in LA. I don't really think this is much of a matchup, though, that we have to get too psyched about. It's the reigning world champions versus the Lakers, who just made it out of the play-in. I think this is Nuggets in 5, to be honest with you.
We saw what happened last year with the Lakers and the Nuggets, and the Nuggets didn't have a problem. I think they took them down in 4 or 5. So now you've got an older LeBron, which once again, that doesn't really mean anything. He's the ageless wonder. And then you have Anthony Davis. I just don't think the Lakers are legit enough. I haven't seen enough from them this season. They've been kind of riding the fine line of play-in team, playoff team, that they're not going to beat the Nuggets.
And finally in the West, we have the number 1 seed OKC Thunder going against the number 8 seed New Orleans Pelicans. I'm sorry, Pelicans fans. Without Zion, you guys played great, and props to you, but I think this is Thunder and foe. 1, 2, 3, Wendy's foe for foe.
Boom. Yeah. Thunder. Next.
All right, let's go over to the East. We're going to talk about the number 3 seed Bucks taking on the number 6 seed Pacers. Pacers are a young, fast team, but I don't know if they have what it takes to beat the Bucks. So I think Dame Lillard and Giannis take this series in, I want to say 5. I want to say Bucks in 5 in this one.
Pending Giannis is healthy, which it just seems to be the problem with these world-class athletes, is staying healthy, especially in the NBA, especially this week, especially this episode, all the people we've already mentioned. Giannis is healthy. This is not a series, in my opinion. I have the Bucks.
Sweet. Number 4 seed Magic versus the number 5 seed Cavs. What are you thinking about this one?
That's a really, really good one. You've got the veteran leadership of Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen to match with the young stars over in Orlando, where it seems Paolo Banchero seems to be the leader, and Franz Wagner, he seems to show his skills on the court and not with his mouth. I will say that I think I have the Cavs winning this series. I'm going to take experience, and I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell wanting to make up for his mistake last year against the Knicks.
All right, the number 2 seed Knicks taking on the number 7 seed 76ers. I mean, it's Joel Embiid here. Jalen Brunson is amazing. I think this one will go 7, though. I will be honest with you, and I think the 76ers are going to pull this one out in 7.
We're going to be having this conversation in Game 7, and it's going to come down to Jalen Brunson or Joel Embiid.
Last matchup, number 1 Celtics versus the number 8 Heat. This is a classic matchup. I mean, we've seen this matchup so many times in the past couple of years, and it always comes down to a Game 6 or a Game 7. So I think this one definitely goes to, well, if Jimmy Butler is there, this goes to 7, no doubt. If Jimmy Butler's not there, if this is a really serious MCL injury, I think maybe it's Celtics in 5, Celtics in 6.
I think Jimmy Butler's integrity and his passion is going to get him back in the series by Game 3, but it won't matter by then because I think they're already going to be down 0-2.
That's our playoff predictions. I'm really excited to see how they fold out, and hopefully we're spot on with the predictions. The USA Olympic men's basketball team announced their roster this week for the 2024 Paris Olympics, filling up their 12th spot. Some people were saying it should be Cooper Flagg from Maine, kind of like the Anthony Davis thing where he got some young experience, but you know, we're out there trying to get gold, and I think they did the right thing by going out there and getting Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg, I just took algebra with that guy last semester. Or the greatest two-way of all time. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. You guys decide. Let me just say, I'm going to be able to watch my favorite player, Kawhi Leonard, just a little bit more. And as long as they stick him in for defensive situations, that's all that matters.
Tip of the hat to a Mr. Blake Griffin. Like to give him his flowers on a great career, a Lob City great. Had a really great run, I would say, in Detroit as well, where he got to show off that he could be the guy, and he could do a lot more than just catch some lobs.
I will always have love for you, Blake. It makes me sad that 1/3 of Lob City is retiring. I mean, that just goes to show you time is flying. I just remember watching the trio when I was younger and Blake Griffin just going off. I love that man. I hope he enjoys retirement. So I know it might not be as exciting this week as the NBA, but the MLB is still currently in season. We have a long way to go. We're about 2 weeks in. I think it's time for a Daniel DiMaggio Mets Weekly Rant. I'm going to do my best to give it all to you, how I feel, where I think we're going this season. Here we go. JD Martinez, not playing right now, not good. He's got a back problem. Need that bat in the middle of the lineup. Otherwise, lineup looks good. Alonso was named NL Player of the Week last week. Lindor's, I'd like to say heating up. I know his defense is always going to be there. I disrespected him a couple weeks ago in an episode. A multi-all-star shortstop, gold glove defender doesn't deserve a guy sitting at home bagging on him like that. So I'd like to apologize to him. It's only right. And Harrison Bader, does anybody know that name? Well, you should now. Because not only does he tear it up in the outfield, hawking down balls, he is killing it with the bat, batting .444 in his last 7 games. Severino is shoving now with a 2.14 ERA. All I've got to say is LFGM. I think we saw possibly the best catch of the year, and it's only been 2 weeks. Let's pop it up for you. Cedric Mullins. Yeah. Did you see that? That man laid out full form, going back. Cullen, did you see that?
Now I'm going to do my best reenactment of it. Ready? How was that?
Yeah, you looked exactly like... I thought it was Cedric Mullins for a second. You know, I said Kawhi, guaranteed death, taxes, and him getting injured by playoff time. Scratch that. Death, taxes, and Angel Hernandez being a walking L. If he was a cell phone, he'd just be missed call after missed call after missed call after missed call. You see what I did there?
My favorite thing I've seen about Angel Hernandez this week is there's clips of people been asking, did Angel Hernandez stare into the eclipse without the glasses?
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one.
That one's really good.
All right, well, time to wrap it up real quick with a nice little segment about one of my favorite sports, the NHL. You know, there's nothing about sitting down, grabbing a cold one, and watching some dudes beat each other up on the ice. The Arizona Coyotes, a.k.a. the Desert Dogs, played their last game in Arizona after 23 years. The team will be relocating to Utah. Best of luck to the Coyotes, and it was really nice to see their run in Arizona. They played at a couple different arenas, ending finally at Mullet Arena, the ASU arena.
Is it really called Mullet Arena?
Yeah, it's really called Mullet Arena. I don't have that mullet going on right now. I'm pretty close to getting that hockey flow, though.
They need to have mullet night at that stadium, and you can't be allowed in the stadium unless you have a mullet.
Or they like hand out like free mullets to wear.
That would be all inclusive. I think that's the way to go.
Other big news, Tampa Bay Lightning star Nikita Kucherov becomes the 5th player to ever have 100 assists in a season. Talk about spreading the love. I mean, this guy's just letting everyone score. What a great player Kucherov is.
100 assists in hockey is like how many assists in a season of basketball?
I don't know how that would equate. Probably a lot more assists in basketball.
Last but not least, Austin Matthews. Toronto Maple Leafs Austin Matthews almost hit 70 goals this year, but he fell short with 69. Nice. I had to do it. When I saw that graphic, I was like, I'm not even mad. I saw his last game, he put 7 shots on goal in the first quarter, which means he was really trying to get that goal. I mean, I would too. You're a legend. You want to hit that 70 mark.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode, as well as the NBA season and the NHL season. Both of those guys going to the playoffs. So best of luck to all the teams who did make it to the playoffs, and enjoy Cancun for those teams that didn't. I'm Cullen Mack, signing off.
I'm Daniel DiMaggio.
And thank you so much for watching from the sidelines. We'll see you guys next week.